We ended the last session on this slide. The slide gives a stepwise approach for solving contradiction questions. In this lesson, we would be applying this approach on a GRE-like problem. Before we do so, you may want to pause the video and revise the approach. Let's now take a GRE-like example. Here is the question. Here is our approach for solving contradiction questions. Let's apply it live. So we read the question first. Here is the question stem, and we spot that it is a contradiction question. Next, we read the paragraph very carefully and develop a mind map. There are just two pieces of information here: that the number of fiction books published each year continued to rise over this time span, but at a lower rate than fiction books across all languages did. Therefore, the number of fiction books published in English in India during the suggested time period increased, but the same across all languages increased at a faster rate. So we have developed a logical train of thought here, connecting the key points in the passage. We are aware that many contradiction statements are possible. Therefore, we are not attempting to have any expectation per se from the correct answer choice. Rather, we will simply go by elimination. Choice A talks about monetary value. Passage does not talk about anything on these lines. Therefore, such an answer choice cannot contradict the argument. Choice C delves into the specifics. Whether it was 30% or something else doesn't really help, because we are interested in the comparison in the growth rates. The numerical value of just one of the two values is not going to contradict the argument. Choice E says that the proportion of fiction books published in English declined from 23% to 21%. So if there was a decline, this answer choice is supporting rather than contradicting the argument. Choices B and D are very interesting. In a way, they both are contradicting. This question is inspired by a real GRE question, and we are deliberately taking this here to help you understand how trappy these questions can be sometimes. If the proportion of fiction books published each year in English in India among all books published remained constant during the set period, one may think that it is contradicting the argument, but there is a small problem here, which is that this answer choice talks about the proportion being out of all books published, whereas the argument is only about fiction books. Answer choice D talks about fiction books. So this answer choice is about the proportion of fiction books published each year in English in India out of the total fiction books published across all languages. If you did not notice this subtle difference, fiction books versus all books, you may have got this question incorrect. There's a lot to be learned from this one. D is the correct answer choice.